Hey, what's up guys? This is Crazy Fish Sticks, and I'm here today showing you how to create a Arma free server. Now I'm going to be doing it through steps, and I will be doing hints and tips at the end of the video, which include disabling the firewalls, port forwarding, and making the application running admin. And there's a couple little things I've added in just to what could help and make your server run. Now I know you guys have loads of issues with running servers. Some people accidentally misclick on stuff and mess up all their server, and it happens a lot to all of us guys, and I know it's a big trouble. So first things first, you're actually going to be going into transferring files to the server folder, and then second you're going to be going and downloading the TADST and placing it into your server folder. Third, you're going to be setting up your TADST to make sure it works properly, and I go through most of the options in there and make sure that you guys know what you're doing. And then right at the end you got the tips and hints. So I also at the end show you how to start up your server and how to join it properly to test it if it was working on network, not LAN. So I hope you enjoy, and please comment and subscribe. It really helps, and give us a little thumbs up on the videos. Thank you, and enjoy. So here we have it guys. We got the Arma free directory open here on the right, and I got my desktop open on my left. This is the file I'm going to be using just for the tutorial. And I'm just going to open that up so you guys can see that. And first we're going to start off with transferring the files to the server folder, and this is my server folder on the left. So we go to the Arma directory. You should know where it is. It's at program files on your C drive or wherever you have it on your PC. And program files, Steam apps, common, Arma free. You may have it somewhere else. You should know if you've changed it. So obviously I've got all my mods up here at the top. They're all the ones with the little @ sign on it, if you don't know that. And these are the normal Arma folders. Now this is what we need to copy. You might see quite a lot of the logs like this at the bottom here, and I think there's another one I can't see at the moment. But if you do, you can just delete them. You don't need these logs. All they tell you is literally nothing, and you can delete them. They always they make one every time you launch the game, I believe. Something like that. So what we do is literally click that one, click the very top. If you want a mod, then you can click it as well. But I'm just going to do the normal Arma default. And you click that one, and you hold left shift, and you click the last one, and it will straight away do it. And then what you do is copy, and then go over to your server directory, and you paste it. Now this should work. Obviously you can see I got 13 gigs, but it should eventually work, and it will be like another Arma free server. Now if you're running it on your own PC, this would be good because you can run to your own Arma free as a client side, and you can have a server side. But also when you're doing this percentage complete bit, or the copying, make sure you press yes on every single thing. You want to make sure all the files are over there. Please copy it, don't change. If you move everything over there, you will get a bit confused. You might mess up files, and it's best to have a test server like I do here. So if you do mess up the files, you can go back to the original files over here. So that's how I work. I believe that's the best way. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, about 10, and this should be done. On the left guys, you will see the Arma free files from what I've copied over from the Arma free directory, but now in my test server directory. So I just wanted to make it clear that please do not delete or mess around with these DLL files. They are supposed to be there. They are for the server and your game, so please do not mess around with them. The only ones, like I said, is mess around with the logs. You can delete them ones. They're not really worth it at the moment. Now what I've got on the left open is a TADST, which is a dedicated server tool. Really useful tool. It helps me use servers so easily. They basically set up a config, and it allows you to work straight away, you know what I mean, to get the servers. So what you need to do is literally click the first one. I think the second one is actually broken. Click the first link here. Download that. It will pop up, hopefully, if I'm correct. If not, I can go on my download. Alright, it's been a bit funny today. Let me give it another click. There we go. Second time always works. Okay, so what you do is just literally extract that, put my downloads, whatever, you know, you're going to be moving the file anyway. So this is in my downloads now. So all you need to do here is you don't need the readme, you don't want to put the file in, you just want to put the application in your server directory, and it will create a TAD config once we've done it, when we start using it, with your server config basically, with your server name, password, stuff like that, you know what I mean. But as you can see at the bottom, it says requirements. You need Microsoft.NET Framework 4.5. So just click that. It will literally bring you straight to this site. You download it. I believe it's free. I don't think there's any costs. So you just download that, and I believe you set it up and it'll work. That'll make it work. Okay, welcome back. So now we're actually going to be setting up the TADST. So literally all you got to do is go on your exe and start that up, and here we go. That's it. That's the application. What helps you make your dedicated server, I guess you could call it. You can use this software. I need to say you can use it on Arma 2 as well. They have an Arma 2 version. I believe I used to use it on Arma 2. It is really good software. They're simple. It's really good. So all you got to do is put a server name up here. So let's go my server, I guess. Password we can put 12345. Admin password we can put 123. Now we'll come back to ports. I believe this is the default port of Arma 3. I would stick with it on your first server until you get to know ports and stuff and PIDs. Max players, let's put that to 40. Why not, eh? Steam port, this is where people can connect through Steam, I believe. I'm not too sure about it. Again, we'll come back to the ports. There's a big thing about ports. And we're going to skip through. This is lots of logs you can put in. All you got to do is make a file and put you can put, I believe you can put a file thing in here and it will save the logs, like for example test server, like this thing here, and you can save it there, maybe not there, like that, and it will start saving the logs. I don't do these logs. The only log what I find is important is the RPT, which helps with finding out what's wrong with your server, if you're testing out missions, mods, you know what I mean, anything like that. So this bit here is about quality over the net, how good people's voices are. This does take quite a lot of network for the server. What I used to do when I had servers would only put it on 8. It doesn't mean that you know where you get the lag, where sometimes someone's lagging on global, where people, you can hear them for a second then they start disappearing. It's not like that. It's just how their voice sounds a bit sometimes. So it's not really that bad. Obviously disable VON, that speaks to itself. If you want to disable side chat, or I think it's global chat, I'm not too sure which one it is. I think it might be both actually. Headless client, I'm not too sure what that is. That might be changing the IPs for the server. Obviously if you're running on your own IP you can't do it unless you have separate IPs. Extra parameters, they sometimes help. It's like the game ones. Whenever you have a client issue, sometimes people put like no pools and no splash, or script enabled so it shows the scripts. Same with the servers. You can make it so it stops think run a certain amount of RAM and a certain amount of CPU power. It doesn't really work that efficient. It depends on the server. But I used to do it, so. So here I've opened this little button here by the server file. Now what you got to do is press the Arma 3 server exe, which in your test server file. Just make sure it's not in your Arma 3 file or directory. So it's got to be in your server directory, and all you do is click that, and it's done. Now, before, really I should have said this before, you can make a profile or just save it as default. It depends what kind of servers you're going to have. If you're just going to have one plain server, I would just save it as default. If you're going to have loads of different missions or something on this server with different names, different passwords, then I would save in different names. All you do is press new, type in a name, test 1. Oh, not liking it? No? Okay, yeah, it is. And it'll be saved, and what they do as well is it'll copy over all your stuff from the old file, what you were looking at. So that's kind of good. This talks about what is TAD and how to donate. I don't recommend donating to him if you don't have money, but if you do have a spare donation money from the servers, I recommend donating to this guy. He's obviously put a lot of work into it. I don't really use a lot of these things. Run as beta. I can't really tell you too much about him. Tooltips. So yeah, that's about Arma 2 and OA beta servers. So don't worry about that. Config files, launch as generate any new config files, so you could do that if you wanted new config files. Check if you want to close the launcher when the server started, so you might want to exit this launcher, I guess you could call it, when the server starts. Up to you. So we're going to go up here to rules now, so you can vote. There's a lot of more or less server stuff, more kind of in-game. Really it should be the mission stuff really, but it's obviously on the config for some reason. So you can have the vote enabled. I turn it off mostly. I don't actually use the message of the day. I believe it's when they join the server this stuff comes in. So we can say hello world or something like that. Now this is a couple of different things. So Battle this is anti-cheat, so you might want that. I don't know, whatever you like. You might want hackers on your server. I don't. Battlefield. So the mission will continue to run even after the last player is disconnected. So basically the mission won't restart when the last person disconnected. Kinda good because people can mess around with the loop system and stuff if you have some sort of DayZ server or something like that. So kick duplicates is when people have two names and you want to kick one of them. Up to you if you do that. Not my business. Require build. Sometimes you might want to put a requirement of the build you want, like a certain copy of the game, certain update of the game. I don't know. I don't use it too much. Secure ID. I think this is something to do with your, possibly something to do with your player ID or Steam ID. I'm not too sure. It is definitely something about hackers. Verify signatures. This is about server keys. I know a lot of you might not know about server keys, possibly some of you might, but when you get mods you have server keys, and like for example I think a lot of them are just different sounds. If you want different sounds to be enabled, I think you press V2 and then what you do is go into keys on here and you put loads of different keys in here on your server. I did do it after I started my server. I didn't do it straight away because it can be quite complicated first time you join. So now missions. Now this is the default missions what I had in my Arma 3 directory. Now what I'm actually going to do is it's a bit glitchy. You got to kind of double click it, but I'm going to actually click Wasteland because I used to own a Wasteland server and I've got the file for it. Now this is just for the mission. Mods, exact same. Obviously you got the launchers and stuff here. If you wanted mods, you just add them into the file, just copy and paste them like you did, like I did with the Arma 3. Very easy, very not really hard. If you think that's hard when you're owning a server or you're making a server, then you're gonna have to kind of look at server stuff a bit more, I would say. So here, difficulty, you can change difficulty. Most things, I think the mission edits it. I know Wasteland, I think, edits the difficulty you set it on, so it doesn't matter. But if you're playing on missions, co-op missions, you might want to do this. It is a really good like armor-free mine tags. A lot of people don't like that. Take it off, you know what I mean? It is really good, and obviously you got skill friendlies, skill enemies, so AIs. How good are they? So that's kind of good. Performance. Now, personally, I wouldn't say mess around with this. There is a certain way you can look online to get a better performance off your server. I don't know if it's the best, personally. I believe they've actually set up quite nicely anyway, but I believe just watch out with that, because sometimes people fuck up with your whole thing and you'll be a bit annoyed. Obviously there's a reset button, but you know, if you've done something really good, you know. View distance, obviously that makes sense, and train grid. So this bit's a bit more complicated. If you don't know what you're doing, I would recommend looking on YouTube or Google. Probably Google is going to be your best friend, or Bohemian's forum, and someone else explain how you can make your server faster and run quicker. Server scripts, again, this is a lot more complicated, and I haven't used it at all. But I believe it's just for anti-hacks and stuff like that. I could be wrong. But if someone would like to say in the comments what this is for, I'm not too sure. I haven't actually needed it at all, so possibly it's maybe for later. Now that's out the way. Technically, you actually have everything to run the server on LAN, but if you want it on IP, you've got to do a bit more extra work. And we'll be back in a couple of seconds with the hints and tips. Welcome back, guys. This is the hints and tips bit of the part of the video where I just make sure that any kind of problems you might have is all in here, and hopefully I make them so that everything should work. So first thing first, you need to go to your Arma free server exe file, go properties and compatibility, and first thing you need to do is run it as administrator, so make sure that is ticked, and then apply. And okay, this will just make sure that there's no problems with it, and sometimes steady boxes don't work as they should with some exe files, so this just makes sure that it does and it works properly. Now there's a second one you can also do, is the TADST file. I haven't had a problem with it before, but some people do have problems with this software. I also run it as administrator just in case. When you got a Daddy box, you should have powers to run it as an administrator, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you don't have powers, then you're probably with a company that you need to always ask for powers and stuff like that. A bit of a shame, but you know, sometimes it does happen. Now the third thing, not everyone needs to do this, but it could be a problem with Daddy boxes. If you're on a Daddy box, this could happen. I've done it before and it's fixed my server. Now, with all these DLL files, now I don't know what they all do, but I know that there's one way to possibly fix your server. There is that it's all you do is go on properties, and you're still on this page. Now, if you're on a Dirty Box, I'm not on a Dirty Box, and this is I've got to explain it a bit. When you're on this file, I believe you will see at the bottom, just here, it'll be it's a button which will might possibly fix your server. Now you need to do this for each DLL file in your test server. I believe the button's called unread. I might be wrong, but it's literally just there, and you literally click it and then apply. Okay, done. Do it all for all of them, and it will. This could solve some of your issues. It is really unique, the issues. Let's put it that way. All the issues are unique, but you know, it's quite hard. But next we're actually going to go into the firewall. Now the firewall, it stops obviously people attacking into your software and allowing certain things to go out your internet and bring stuff back in. Now it's really up to you. I'm not saying it's a good idea, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. You should, to make it work, if you want to do it the easy way, turn off your firewall. Just simply turn it off, bam bam. OK, that'll be off, okay? There is another way though. Now, if you go into Advanced Settings on this page, you can put in ports, and you can put certain, I guess, applications through the boundaries. Now, if I go to the in boundaries, you can see all my Arma 2 and Arma 2OA and Arma 3 as well, and the server stuff. Now, you don't see any ports, I don't think, but I can tell you now, this probably is, you know, when it comes up saying allow a game through the firewall, I believe it says, and you allow it, and then it always have power. That's basically what you're doing here, but sometimes it doesn't go through if you're on a dedicated server. If you're on a dedicated server, you might have to do a bit more work. I'm not too sure, but that's how you kind of do it. I'm on obviously Windows 8.1, so it could be different for all of you. Hopefully this does help though. Now there is one more thing, and I'm just going to have to explain this as much as I can. If you're on your own PC, you need to port forward. Now I can't show you because I haven't got access at the moment, but what you need to do is go onto your router settings, and it'll be quite easy. All you got to do is add a port through the router. And now, if I quickly go to the TADST, it's up to you if you go to the first port, which will allow people to join from the game. So look up the server, join. Now the Steam port, I'm pretty sure it allows people to join with the Steam access, so join on player friends, I guess you could call. Now it's really up to you. Obviously first you need to do the port anyway, up to you if you do the Steam port. Personally, I would do the port straight away. If you've got time, do the Steam port, you know what I mean? It's not necessary, but it is. If you're on a Dead Box, most Dead Box will already have port forward, all of them, all of the ports pretty much, which you need. If they don't have it, then I recommend going to your server host and just saying, could you unblock this port through your router, and tell them what port it is. They should do it. It shouldn't really be a problem for them if it's not, you're not doing anything harmful to them, so it shouldn't be a matter. But yeah, that is literally the whole thing done now, guys. So what I'm going to do is start my game, and you'll be able to join me back when my game is up, and we will be I'll be showing you the server. So here we go. See you in a minute. Hey, welcome back, guys. So I forgot last time that I need you to actually go on Google and just type in IP. It will show your public IP from your router. Copy and paste that. It's literally that simple. And I also forgot to tell you in the last one that I added a mod called Any Databases for Wasteland just to run. So it's just a mod. It doesn't do anything to show how the server anyway. It's just so that Wasteland can run, because obviously Wasteland has a database now. The Wasteland I'm running is 404, by the way, just in case if you wanted to know. But anyway, let's hit up this server and let's hope it works, I guess. So I've already launched Arma 3. I believe you have to launch Arma 3 before the server, otherwise Arma 3 just doesn't like it, the client side. Don't get me wrong, I don't know why, but it's obviously something to do with ports and stuff. So I'm just going to show you what the server looks like, the server console, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. So so here we go, dedicated server, Arma 3 dedicated server host. It will do all this, and if you have a battle eye enabled, it will also say something about battle eye. Maybe I misclicked, I don't know. But anyway, you go to multiplayer. So I wanted to explain something first. If you filter the name of the server, what was my server? My server, I believe it was. It won't come up straight away. Most servers won't. It's not your server problem. It might come up. I'm not too sure. But most of the time when I've experienced it, it's never came up. This is not nothing you've done wrong. It's simple, right? Now the reason this doesn't come up is because the mission isn't activated yet. Technically the mission is still, there's not even a mission on there. The server is just floating at the moment, waiting for that player to join. So an easy way to stop to let people to get into the game, and I would recommend to tell people in your community to do this, because it allows people to join the server quicker. People will see the server quicker, and your server, your population of your server will go up quicker. So I've already got the IP down there. It's literally copy and paste right in there. Same port, normal port, unless if you changed it, you will know about this though. Now straight away you will see it. The reason this shows that your server is online and it's not just by LAN is because you're doing it by address. Remote address or remote IP, whatever you want to call it. If I change this top right button to LAN, you will also see it, but if you want to test it, do it by remote. Now if obviously we had a password 12345, should work, let's hope. Now here's Wasteland. This is my old mission file. This is why it's got Mercy Killers and MK. I changed all of it. Now you can tell it's already looks the exact same as Wasteland. I can join, and look, it's already working. It's loading the init files, the description file as well. So it's working the mission. Mission is working on this server. Was really good because obviously that shows that we're doing something right. Now I will create some tutorials about making descriptions and stuff like that if people want them. Tell me in the comments if you do. I'm hoping to get back, go into Arma 3, because I used to be quite a big server. I used to own 2 main Wasteland servers on Arma 3, and I used to own a really cool Epoch server. But I do want to go back into server business, so I might get some servers later on in this year. I'm not too sure at the moment because Arma 3 is kind of floating around, but we will soon see. But hopefully this ties up a little bit. But hopefully you'll see a bit more about this in my channel, because I'm hoping to do this. If you have any suggestions or problems what I might have missed out, so you can see here I've actually enabled script. I don't know what it's actually called. I think it's like script flash or something like that. It tells me what scripts are wrong. Doesn't really matter because we're just using it as a purpose at the moment. That just this mission. So it's not bother. That's just the mission. Nothing you guys done or I've done. But as you can see now, this mission is. You can hear the sounds. It's loading, and here you go. This might take 1 to 2 minutes. I've done that myself through the description from the Wasteland 404, and bam, spawn in, and that works. So, like I said, guys, it's really easy. There might be a couple of things I missed out. I'm sorry I couldn't do the port forwarding again. As I said, I haven't got permissions to do it, but if you're on a dedicated server, they will do it straight away for you, or they might even have it done before you even come on the server. But as you can see, it's fine. You will experience lag if it's running on your PC. Obviously, I've got a decent PC, so it's running decently fine. But like any PC, you can always have it. But if I just quickly exit that. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in the next video. Good luck, guys.